Hello, dear foodie friends, and welcome to Kitchen Chat. I'm your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I'm so glad you're joining me today in the beautiful Middleby Residential Showroom at the Merchandise Mart. I'm here with my favorite foodie friend and the brand ambassador for this great company, Chef Jamie Larita.
Margaret, it's a pleasure to be here with you once again in Suite 137 in the Merchandise Mart.
Yes, and I am so excited, Jamie, and dear foodie friends, about today's guest. As we all know, charity begins in the kitchen, and today you will have the chance to meet Linda Novick O'Keefe, who is the founding CEO of Common Threads.
And my friend.
And your friend. I can't wait to get some stories with that.
Oh, I got them all, Margaret. We've got them all.
But we are going to learn about the great things that this organization is doing across the country to empower and educate children about good nutrition and cooking. So welcome to Kitchen Chat, Linda.
Thank you for having me, Margaret and Jamie.
Thank you so much for being here. And I have to say, Linda and Margaret, you're one of my favorite people in the Chicago community. And I'm so glad we've been friends for a long time, over 15 years.
Yes.
And I've been a huge supporter,
Yes.
and I've been somebody that's been with Linda all along the way here and there in my busy culinary life.
Mm-hmm.
But Linda, as far as Common Threads is concerned, can you show and tell our friends kind of just a snippet as to what Common Threads is and what it does for children?
Absolutely. So Common Threads is a nonprofit organization. As you said, we're 15 years old, and we've been dedicated to providing cooking and nutrition education programs across the country in schools and in community.
I mean, it's a program that gives children, Margaret, the ability to learn how to cook and to teach children really at a very early age the power of food and nutrition.
And so what are these programs you're talking about? Where do these kids go to learn how to cook? What is a typical day in the life at Common Threads look like?
Well, it all started with our after-school cooking program. So we started the organization teaching kids 16 to 20 at a time in the kitchen with a chef instructor how to make healthy, affordable meals that are under $10 to feed a family of 4, using on average 5 ingredients that could be found in a food desert that takes around on average 30 minutes to make. So these kids are getting on an imaginary airplane, and each week they travel to a different country. So they might make a Senegalese stew, Greek chicken with whole wheat pita and tzatziki. They're learning how to make a ragu. So it's a really incredible program. We know after that program that kids are eating more vegetables, they're liking more vegetables, they're increasing the frequency of making home-cooked meals.
And how important is that? I mean, I remember as myself coming from a large Italian family, being exposed to lots of different fruits and grains and pastas and vegetables, but a lot of kids don't have that opportunity.
No.
And I remember being with Common Threads, and one of the days that I spent with you being in, I believe it was so it started with Chef Art Smith and Jesus. It was in a church, right? And I remember being in a culinary kitchen. I believe I was cooking on a Viking range, if I'm not mistaken.
You were.
I was.
So yes. So our very first kitchen was at St. Paul and the Redeemer on the south side in the Kenwood Hyde Park community. So they allowed us the space, and we took over their kitchen. One of our donors provided us with a Viking range. We had Le Creuset, a woman named Trish Rinaldo, who I believe is still there, outfitted the entire kitchen with Le Creuset pots and pans. She helped me paint the walls and the islands.
I remember.
KitchenAid sent us mixers and bowls and measuring equipment, and even back in the day, we actually ordered enough oyster shucking gloves because Art and I were both so afraid that the kids were going to cut themselves, so we bought them all oyster shucking gloves. That didn't last very long, but
I remember those days. I remember those days when you first began. And Chef Art began working and building, and I was on my culinary journey working with rock stars and celebrities, which, by
Yes.
the way, I helped.
Yes.
And a lot of chefs helped. It wasn't just me. There's a galaxy of chefs that have been.
And a galaxy of your rock star friends that donated, like Sarah McLachlan and Madonna and Sting.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yes,
it was
all these
amazing.
things. I would get phone calls from them back in the day saying, we need a guitar, or we need this, or we need that, or a backstage experience to help us like really raise money for the foundation and to help these kids. But I
And you
remember-
were the bread, like the chefs, including you, like the chefs have been the bread and butter of the organization and were for so long. We really relied on our event rep, like on the chefs to raise the money for the organization for our programs. But also, they were teaching the kids in the very beginning and helping us work through recipes to ensure that these recipes were going to, you know, fit within the $10 guideline.
And let's talk a little bit more about the programs.
Sure.
If we can take a deeper dive.
Absolutely.
Something about grocery shopping. I mean, what
Yes.
is all of this about?
So we have the after-school cooking program. We also have an in-school curriculum. So we partner with school districts and sometimes embed under STEM and science or physical education, but our curriculum meets the standards for Common Core and Next Generation Science standards. So in an ideal world, you know, every pre-K through 8th grader will get 8 hours of nutrition education plus have the hands-on experience of making healthy snacks that they could make at home. We also have family cooking classes and family cooking workshops. We teach parents how to go grocery shopping, how to, you know, shop the perimeter, how to read a food label. We have a handbook which really helps show that how to shop on a budget that's aligned to SNAP and WIC, really just to meet our families where they are, because it is doable, possible, it is feasible to make the family meal a reality on a budget, and we just want to show folks that it can be fun,
Well,
and it anchors the family.
It sure does, and it's an incredible journey that you guys have been on, because again, going back to the seed of all this,
Yes.
I remember being there as part of the soil, and again, coming back year after year, seeing it grow, watching it expand, watching it go from really Chicago to
Yes.
now like 13 different states.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that's pretty.
13 different markets,
Okay,
cities, yes.
like markets. So 13 different.
If we consider Dallas, Fort Worth, two separate ones.
Oh, we do. We absolutely. Dallas, you got your two separate
State of Texas.
But it's like you guys have expanded to that, and it's with the help of, you know, again, I've been like in the program, in and out of the program based on my time, and of course I give you as much time as I can, but I've watched huge companies like Conagra and Walmart and all of these big brands like you mentioned, Le Creuset and KitchenAid, stand behind what it is that you're building. And the infrastructure is really the chefs and the food lovers and the foodies across the world, Margaret, that have lent their time passionately to help build this force of energy that's inspiring kids to grow through food. You know, Margaret, we talked about medicine.
Yes,
About food as being
food
medicine.
is
Remember the mayor
medicine.
when the mayor was in Kitchen Chat?
That was great.
And
And check that Kitchen Chat out if you haven't had a chance. That was so
it was an amazing. We had the mayor of Chicago here. What did he
Yes,
say?
he said food is medicine. And speaking of medicine, you're partnering, right, with some medical
Yes, so
groups?
we have really started building and pouring our time and resources into medical partnerships. So here in Chicago, we have a beautiful partnership with the Oprah Center for Integrative Medicine. We've been teaching medical school students at Northwestern a culinary medicine program in partnership with the Oprah Center, Melinda Ring. And then deploying them into Chicago Public Schools, and they're teaching the in-school curriculum, which allows, it's an incredible partnership where we're actually, I love the fact that these young medical school students are going into the classes and they're showing kids that doctors can be accessible and
Friendly.
Yes.
and
I'm scared about
and it's great for the medical school students because
Yes.
you know, my brother just finished medical school, and I think he got in his residency, and I think he got a total of 3 hours of nutrition ed, and there just is not we all know when we eat well, we feel better. We have the energy to rock it out throughout the day, right?
True. And going back into like just a sneak peek back to bring it to me in my world, back in the day when it was organics that I would use, like organics to help fuel the energy of these celebrities and these rock stars. And I watched organics blow up. The same thing is with Common Threads. Like I've seen you guys go from the concept of, and when did that start? I remember Chef Art, it was something with 9/11.
Yes. So Art, when he was working for Oprah Winfrey, he traveled with Oprah to cook for families that had been affected by this huge tragedy.
Right.
And during that time of cooking for these families, he realized just the power of bringing people to the table. And he walked away. I think that 9/11 affected us all, regardless of race or religion, and he walked away saying, "What can I do?" And he and Jesus really wanted to create a community center and teach people through cooking and the arts how we're all more similar than different. And for Art, it was all about using food as that vehicle for change and education. So something really beautiful came out of...
They've always been so engaged in that message. And Common Threads has gone through so many different stages of growth, and I cannot believe the amount of events you've had, the amount of chefs, the amount of celebrities, the amount of people that you have come to these events. So when there is a Common Threads event, especially wherever it is now in the country, in the 11 or 12 different regions, is that what you said, markets, go to a Common Threads event. One thing you're going to get for sure is great food.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? You're
Some of the best chefs across the country
always
around.
I have a funny foodie story.
From one of our events.
From one of the events. 2012, and actually I came straight from my radiation treatment at Northwestern. I was just going through breast cancer at that time and finding joy through food, because food is medicine. So I went with a girlfriend and she said, "Oh, Margaret, try this little bite." I'm like, "Oh, sure." And then right mid-bite, she goes, "Oh, how do you like kangaroo?"
See? Did you start hopping around?
Oh, yes.
So what did you think of kangaroo?
Well, I guess it tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. But getting back to the point, Common Threads has such an incredible array of all different types of chefs and communities coming together to share not only recipes but food ingredients, esoteric ingredients that you've never seen before. You can go to an event and eat kangaroo and also have all different types of food, but it's those events that we really at Common Threads, I'm bringing myself right into the program
and you're part of it,
that you guys need to see what it is that you guys do, and for forecasting the future of Common Threads, what is it like? You're going into the medicine world and going into
we've been really excited. So we've been excited about this partnership with Osher. We're about to replicate the program in Miami currently, or we're working towards replicating the Osher program in Miami. We are also at Baptist South Florida. We're actually teaching patients with type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol and hypertension our cooking program, and are looking to see if we can get to real health outcomes. So we're really excited about the work that's happening in that space. We've been teaching school nurses how to identify kids with diet-related disease that are being referred to our higher dosage programs. So we're excited about, again, building partnerships. We can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. It takes a village. If you're talking about social determinants of health, we can't do. We want to partner to make sure we're really getting to that we're having the community impact.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, it's like everybody eats, and everybody. And Margaret, do you have
And speaking of partnerships, this is a wonderful thing to mention, the events, and you have,
Yes.
as part of the celebration of the 15th anniversary.
Yes. Chef Takeover.
Yes, so can you share with us the venues of that, the places, the cities? and the
Sure. Well,
times?
mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars, folks.
Or go to the website. We've got, we're kicking off our Chef Takeover in Austin, where I
Nice.
live now, and you have to come to Texas.
I've been there a couple of times, but not to visit you yet. But things are weirder there because of her.
So we're not divulging any secrets, any stories. So we have our kickoff on September 12th in Austin. In Los Angeles, we're having Chef Takeover on December 5th. In Washington, D.C., we have it slated for February 2nd, I believe. And then we are going the grand finale, the big soiree, the huge party here in Chicago, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
March 16th during Houseware Show, which is where it all began. It was always the Monday of
And
Houseware
the day after
Show.
my birthday, so it's going to be
It's going to
big
be
week.
it's going to be huge.
Huge.
It's
massive.
going to be delicious.
Yeah, of course it is. It always is.
And we are going to raise a lot of money for our programs.
I love raising money for charity, but specifically for this cause. Remember, it's always goes right back to the root of it, and that's inspiring a child to grow through food. I love that, and to me, I have to say that personally, I thought I was helping the kids, but they were really helping me. I realized that my talent and my craft was just the vehicle to change a life, but really that was them that inspired me. I walked out of there crying. You know me, I'm a big baby, guys. I cry over everything. I left
You
there,
and me both.
I
That's
know.
why we're friends.
Exactly, and I thought to myself, wow, I know I changed someone's life.
Yes.
And then that changed mine. So, I mean, that's what Common Threads does. So anytime you see something, post, and what's your website? How can people find you?
So commonthreads.org.
Okay.
And then you can also go on to Common Bites with a Y,
BYTES.
BYTES
Okay.
.org.
Commonbites.org.
And that's an incredible platform to look at some of our recipes, videos. Again, we're building this digital platform to be able to reach, to be in other cities and markets, and to really help support other organizations and help people live healthier, happier lives. Right?
I mean, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, I love you.
I really am. I'm so proud of her because it's Margaret. It's from the beginning. 15 years goes
Yes.
by so fast.
It does.
Yes.
It does. We've had an incredible circle of support around the organization, and
I mean, are there any shout outs? Are there any who's been like some of your biggest? You have a defining moment, like something that you think back on besides me being there? Do you have something
That
that,
was
you
the
thought
highlight.
that was amazing?
so I just went to class. It was actually in Miami, and one of the volunteers there was a high school student. And I came to find out that he had gone through our program in elementary school and middle school and was now choosing on his own to volunteer in his old elementary school teaching the after-school program. And so I was just, it was a full circle moment for me, but we couldn't have gotten to this point without so many people. Talk about shout outs. Walmart Foundation has really held our hand since 2012 to help us scale. Quaker has been there since close to the very beginning. Their employees donating their time, and ConAgra, John Harris. I mean,
He's such a great guy.
he is incredible,
great.
and has always been there as an advisor to me, and has been there and shown up.
Have you followed?
for
Do
the
you
organ-
follow? Of course, you follow his
He's
Instagram. He's
so
inspirational.
positive
Yeah,
and
yeah. He's a role model to me. Sometimes.
yes.
On the
I mean, there's
basis.
so many chefs I think of that have lent their time and energy. I'm so grateful for every single one of them.
And we are so grateful to you and all that you have been the
Absolutely.
leader of this, the founding CEO.
It's
of
such a
Common
pleasure.
Threads.
She's always, every time I talk to you about Common
is
Threads,
my
it's always
favorite
about
thing.
It's always about someone else. And you never put it, you never put the light on yourself. So we're going to shine the lights on
shining.
you today. You've done such an amazing job, and you should be so proud of
Yes.
yourself.
We have
I mean,
an
you're in it.
incredible team.
Yeah,
We
you
have
do.
an incredible team, and every single one of our employees that has been with us and that is, part of our team now. I mean, everyone has had an imprint on this organization. I'm really proud of all that we've accomplished together.
Yeah, it's great. And you guys work so hard. Every time I talk to you, you're meeting someone, there's constant relationship.
Not-for-profit work is really, I'm trying to think of how
It's
to
hard
say it.
work, I think is what you're trying to say.
Yes, hard work.
Yeah, it's
Not-for-profit
hard
work
Yes.
is really
Hard work.
hard
Yes.
work. It's our team works really,
Yeah,
really
no, and
hard.
I'm going to say it
and-
for you. Every time I see you coming here through Chicago, you're so busy. It's hard to get a hold of Linda.
There are a lot of people that get mad at me when I come into town.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's hard to get a hold of Linda. And I'm so glad you took the time
Yes.
to come here today.
Yes.
I really appreciate you making the time and space to talk about my favorite organization in the entire universe. So
Thank you so much, Linda, and thank you, Chef Jamie, and thank you, dear foodie friends. I hope that you'll check out commonthreads.org and also Common Bites with a Y, TES, for more inspiration in your kitchen and also how you can help others. You can volunteer, you can donate, you can come to an event, and just find out if you're a company watching. Look for sponsorship opportunities as well, because charity begins in the kitchen. And I hope you will come visit Chef Jamie Larita here in this beautiful kitchen at Middleby Residential Showroom. Visit VikingLife.com, as well as come into my kitchen, kitchenchat.info, for some more kitchen chats. And always remember, dear foodie friends, to take a moment and savor the day.